Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? So glad y'all are here. Listen, let's have a friendly, fun Friday conversation this afternoon. I was thinking about this for about a week, a week long, and I said, you know what? There's so much conversations going on about some of these stories and topics, and it's so much negativity with it. And I said, you know what, Regina? Come on, God, let's put a spin on this. So I got together with God and I said, let's have a conversation, Lord, and let's have a conversation about some of these trending topics that are taking place, but let's do it in a loving way, okay? I think when people begin to be bloggers and want to get on the social media realm and they're trying to get clicks and views and likes and followers, I think sometimes what they tend to do is they tend to forget that the people that they're talking about are actually human beings. They have feelings, they have their own personal lives, they're dealing with stuff. And a lot of times all the kikiing, it may be okay for a little bit, but we have to go back and pull it back sometime and reel it back and realize that these are real people, you guys. They're going through real situations. You can have a loving conversation about a bad situation without making it a bad conversation, okay? And I'm going to try and do that today. Before I do that, though, I want y'all to hear this beautiful intro that Dion and Rome did for us, and I appreciate them so very much for this intro. They produced, sang it, singing on it, all of that. Thank you so very much, Dion and Rome. I'm going to play my intro, and I'm going to be right back. Y'all go ahead and gather the people, share the video, and tell them come on in the room. We're going to have a chit-chat in a loving way. I'll be right back.
Welcome to the Juice Radio Talk Show. 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 Reality TV, church reviews. Let's talk happy love and marriage lifestyle. Come and talk with us. Come and share with us. Come and laugh with us. Come on and pray with us.
Regina Clovis, special guest. You should be following your lead. Bless. Subscribe on YouTube. Listen on podcasts. We live on IG and Facebook. This episode is sponsored by Truth and Triumph Ministries.
All right, let's get started here. Now, everybody knows on the Juice Radio and Talk Show, yes, I am the creator, but God actually is the creator. He gifted me with this platform and I share it with others. I don't claim anything as my own because I'm such a sharer. So I always, when I have a conversation about the platform, I always say ours, we, us. That's because I love sharing. So here at the Juice Radio and Talk Show, we are all super co-hosts on the channel. Jesus Christ the Almighty is the host of this platform. We want him to be pleased with what we do on here. And that's why we made him the host on this platform. And we're all just simple co-hosts. I do have a team that normally joins us. They're working today. They do have full-time jobs, but they may pop in and out, and that will be okay. But you are here. You're my super co-host too, because you who are watching this and viewing this right now are super co-hosts as well. And I'm so happy to have y'all join me today as well. I'm actually going to be doing this. I'll be dropping the link. So if you would like to come on panel and have a conversation on screen with me, you can do that as well. Before I drop that link though, I want to go ahead and say hello to you, my other super co-hosts in the chat. I want to give a great big hello to Erin. Erin is here, y'all. She didn't even have to be here, but she's here. Best mod ever. And listen, Erin is a great person. Thank you, Erin, for being here. Robin is here. Hey, Robin. How you doing, girl? She's saying good afternoon. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. LaToya. Hey, girl. Hey. Say hello to my nephew. What's up, Justin? I know y'all having a good day. I don't even have to say, hope y'all have a good day. I know y'all are having a good day. Thank y'all so much for being here. Hey, Carrie, how you doing? Look how cute Carrie's picture is. Happy Friday. She said, well, thank you. And happy Friday right back to you, girl. Happy Friday. Happy Mother's Day weekend to all the moms. Your mom, happy Mother's Day weekend to you. Don't just celebrate on Sunday now. Y'all start today, all right? Happy Mother's Day to all of you as well. Robin says, I love friendly conversations. I know, right? I love friendly conversations too. I really like having a conversation about stuff, but in a nice way. Natasha's here. Hey, Natasha. How you doing? Thank you for being here today. Thank you. And Robin says, also some people are hyperbolic as clickbait. I know. All they want is to get the click. They don't care what expense it comes back. Now, my Bible always says, give and it shall be given unto you. So, whatever you give, let me tell y'all, be careful because your gift will come back as a gift to you. Okay. It will do that. It will come back as a gift to you. So I always want blessings to come back. I don't like curses coming back. Mind you, I have been there before I had to learn lessons that I learned. You know, as you get older and wiser, you learn. I've learned. So now all I want are blessings and good things coming back to me. So that's why I try and give out good back. All right. Hey, Fifi ASB, how you doing? She says, hello, all my peoples. Hello. I'm going to be dropping the link. So if any of you would like to join, I'm going to drop this link. Aaron, I don't know if you have if you're able to pin it, but I'm going to just go ahead and drop it and then I'll keep dropping it as people come in. Right. Thank y'all so very much. Aaron is working so hard out here and I love it. I love it. All right. So let's have a conversation about a few things that took place during these past few weeks. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link that you guys can join. Click the link to join. Okay, I'll go ahead and I'm going to drop this for you guys once that starts acting right. Okay, let's see if that works. If not, then I'll go ahead and I'll put it in there again. All right, let's go ahead and drop that one more time. I don't think that uploaded right. All right, so there we go. All right, so let's have a conversation about a few things. Okay. Now, let's start off with Steve Harvey. Now, I know a lot of you have heard about this story that's going on with Steve Harvey. I watched Steve Harvey do an interview on Shay, I think it's Shay Club. He had an interview with Steve Harvey on there, and Steve Harvey was talking about a few things going on in his life and venture and so forth. And it was a really powerful interview that happened. And Steve Harvey was really great about his conversation of how he handled all of that. And I really respected how he handled this whole conversation. Hey, Robin, how you doing, girl?
I'm great. Hi, happy Friday, Regina and chat.
Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. So we're going over Steve Harvey, and he did an interview with Shay. I'm gonna have to pull up his YouTube channel, but in this interview, Club Shay. Thank you for that. See, I'm so glad you're here. And what happened in that interview with Club Shay? Hey, Carrie, how you doing, girl?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Wonderful. In that 2-hour interview that he did on Club Shay, it was so good. But one of the key things that I pulled out from that interview, Robin, I don't know if you saw this, when he was speaking, when Steve Harvey was talking about I think it was a Miss America pageant or whatever that happened, when there was that big falafel thing about the name was wrong and so forth or whatever, and people were after him and all the stuff. The powerful part of that whole interview that I saw was Steve Harvey came out of that thing on top. And people wanted to bury Steve Harvey. And Steve Harvey came out on top, even so much so, I think he owns part of that pageant right now. You remember that, Robin?
I 100% remember it happening.
Mm-hmm.
He announced the wrong, and it remains still a mystery for me. He did show the card saying the name that he called out, and I feel like that was purposefully done
by Steve or by the team.
By the team,
right?
Because in recent years, beauty pageants such as they are called have lost favor. They have not been as popular. So I think that it was in part done to get more eyes and attention on the pageants and pageant industry.
And they did that. But I'm so happy that he came out from underneath that muck, because that situation could have destroyed someone who wasn't as strong as Steve Harvey and his wife Marjorie.
You know what I think he did? He did a couple of things. I think he was stunned because there was the discrepancy, but he owned it. He owned it. He made light of it. He didn't get mean, nasty, and blame. But then he was able to use that and parlay it into a few things. Didn't he do some like kind of commercial or something following it? So he just owned it. And I think that he had in that at that to that point, and still today enjoyed a reputation in the public of being a straight shooter, being honest,
Yeah.
and that is what I believe helped him to not suffer any negative consequences following that. It was just something that was a joke for us to engage.
I love. Hey Diva, how you doing, girl? Diva saying hello. She's here. So glad she's here. Carrie, I'll give you an opportunity to speak as well. Do you remember the story about Steve Harvey?
I do remember the story, but I do agree. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names with the other young lady that's on the panel. Um,
Robin.
Robin, how are you, Robin? Um, I I stopped watching the pageants. I used to be a like an avid fan of them when I was a little girl. Um, but it seems like in today's society, because if that was a tactic, that's what people do. You know, they use a lot of gimmicks to gain favor, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
And what people, I mean, what you have to learn to do is to lean into it and not get upset about it and see how you could turn that situation into profit. And
Yeah.
I think that's what happens. So lean into any bad press or any tactics or games or misconceptions that may be floating around social media about you. Just lean into it.
And I'm glad you said that. You said lean into it, and Robin said he took accountability. And I think those two are the major things why he kept coming up, because he did. He owned it, even though, like Robin said, and I agree with you, Robin, I don't think it was his doing, but he owned it for the sake of he wanted to make it right. And I think your character and the way you move when situations happen will determine if you're going to come up and come out of it successful or not. And I'm glad he did. I want to say hello to Naughty Love. Hey, Naughty Love, how you doing? So glad that you're here as well, Latoya. Oh, you got the shirt. I'm so glad you got the shirts, Latoya. So glad. And I wanted to say this about Steve Harvey. The reason why I'm really excited that he did come out and he showed the example way, I believe, of how we should go through these things. And he also had the young lady on his show, and he apologized and had a conversation with her and everything. So the reason why I'm bringing this particular story up right now is because of the situation that's going on now as far as Marjorie's ex-husband writing this book. Now, I don't know if you ladies, have you heard of that as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have. I've followed Geneva's Closet for a few years now, so I'm very familiar
Okay. So the reason,
with that side of it.
right. Now, I thought about that when I saw this, and I said, I'm not going to touch the story until the Holy Spirit tells me to. And the reason why I'm bringing it on here now is because I believe Steve Harvey and Margie are going to come out of this fine as well, as long as they do what they did before. Just stay humble and kind and caring. Now, I haven't dug real deep into it. I'll hear you ladies' stories and see your sides of it and see what you have to think. But I really want Steve Harvey to not bounce backwards. I want him to keep bouncing forward. So I'll start with you, Carrie. Tell me your thoughts on what's going on right now with Steve and his beautiful wife, Marjorie, and this ex-husband that, if he has a story to tell, I'm not mad, but sometimes we have to be careful with how we tell those stories. Go ahead, Carrie. What's your thoughts?
Um, I'm a little indifferent about, or I'm
And
just
it's
a little
okay.
bit
You,
of,
you can't be.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's just a little bit of pushback about when people have a story to tell. It's exactly that, their story to tell. So, um, if that's just how I don't I don't really have a dog in the fight, you know what I mean? As it
I
relates
understand.
to their situation and Marjorie's ex-husband and what happened. Is a lot of different variations of the story.
Hmm.
Um, and I think I don't even know if it'll ever all come out in the wash, how we used to say down south. Because
Hmm.
it's just so much, so many different layers to this story. So it's gonna be
Yes, yes,
interesting. It's
yes,
gonna be
yes, yes.
interesting to see what Mr. Townsend has to say. I, I've
Mhm.
I haven't seen any of his interviews. I've been kind of like not really staying away from social media, but just taking it a little light here lately.
I get
Um,
it. I get it.
because
That social media break is real, girl. It's necessary and needed. So I get it. I understand.
yeah. So
I
I just think it's very interesting. It's very puzzling and mysterious. Um, so it'll be interesting to see what he has to say.
I know. Robin, let's get your thoughts on Steve Harvey before we move on to this next great topic I have.
Sure. I agree with Carrie. Everybody has a story to tell, and it's their story. And I think that just because of the age that we're in, especially with so much access, I don't know what great probative value there is to us knowing about what it is about these different people. Because I always like to say, what they eat don't make me fat.
Oh,
Um, but in truth, you know what? And I will cop to this. You know
hmm,
when you like, let me see how I'm gonna do my best ebonics. You know how you
okay.
do be knowing people and you be like, even though you're not really doing nothing, you like you're not extremely close, or you have had a relationship or dealings with them in the past, and maybe somebody who blew up.
Hmm.
I know for me, I'm like, oh well, we went to college together. This is what we used to do for people who are very prominent.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I realize I do too, because you have an attachment with people who have a different public profile than you do. So
Yes.
let me do mine. I'll do just maybe two.
Hmm.
Remember when the late great Prince Rogers Nelson had the issue with his name?
No, I don't.
Well, you remember he when he changed his name from Prince to the artist formerly known
Oh,
as.
yes. Yes. Hmm.
Okay.
Yes, I recall that. That was a big thing. Hmm.
So the attorney who got him his name back was one of my friends. That's what I don't mind dropping. So Jimmy's probably like, Marjorie is up there high on this hill. I used to be married to her. So it's just because you're fame adjacent, and
Hmm.
people, we have this insatiable desire
Hmm.
to have some kind of public connection. And I think that that is what drives. And I don't know if you'll let me know if it's okay. I will say this. I saw another content creator this morning
Hmm.
say that they were going to be dropping an interview with Jimmy this evening.
Hmm. Hmm.
My impression is that it's not going to have anything necessarily to do with Marjorie, but his life as before he was sent to prison. So
Hmm.
I think that might just give different entree and give us a different perspective. But I really think that there is nothing that either any of us could necessarily gain if we are not intimately involved or have business dealings with Steve and or Marjorie Harvey. Not a big deal.
I know, I know. I do wish them all well, and I understand her husband, and I'm not silencing him because he does have a voice, and he has a right to use his voice if he chooses. We're not saying that he has a story to tell. We're okay with that. I just would love for these men of color, our ethnicity, to be able to bring some light and some unity together and say, even though we had differences, we could still move in a direction where let's fix it so that we can teach our young men that's coming behind us how to do it for the future.
Can I
That's
ask you a
really
question,
what I
Regina?
love. Yes.
Okay, so when we talk about this, one of the I wrestle with this.
Hmm.
What exactly do you think that this gentleman, Mr. Jimmy, has to gain or offer by telling his story? And do you believe that the part that includes the part of his life story that includes Margie Harvey is getting too much or an expansive amount of attention based on her being Steve Harvey adjacent?
Well, of course, he wants to sell the book, from my understanding, allegedly. He wants to sell the book, right? So, of course, you're going to need to have a powerful name behind the book to drive people to buy the book. So, I understand that tactic. As far as what the storyline is going to be, for me, I probably would not purchase a book because it may just be about the gossip side of it. I'm into entrepreneurship. I'm into stuff that's going to help me grow. I'm not into all of the gossip that I'm going to buy a book about gossip. I may look at some blogs that's a minute, 2 minutes, or something like that, but I'm not into spending my money, hard earned money, about the gossip. So I don't know what he's getting out of it, except that he had a lot of time and he may have just wanted to have his conversation. You all let me know in the chats what your thoughts are on
But I
that.
thought that he said he wasn't going to publish the book. I thought that was pulled back.
Oh, he may have. I haven't heard that.
He
Mhm.
did say that, but then he did another interview with Geneva and said that he was putting the book out. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what's really going on. I do know that one of the things that he did say, just from the clip, was he was um, not happy about what Steve Harvey said to his son.
Oh, yes, I
And
did hear that too, Carrie.
and
Hmm.
then he on Club Shay Shay, he stood 10 toes down on that. And
Yeah.
so,
And mhm. And
but
Steve said
even
something about he's standing 10 toes down on what he said. I think
right,
allegedly he was saying, and that's the part where I'm
right,
saying I would hope these two men can
right,
come together and make a future. So listen, egos get in the way sometimes, and
right, absolutely,
so you still have this young man, the son that you both have to raise and continue to be in their lives. So I would pray that some way there would be some form of coming together to say, listen, yeah, we spoke, we were, we did that, we shouldn't have done that. Let's get it back on another track. But I'm gonna have to say that Marjorie's husband, if he has something he has to say, he does have a right to say what he has to say. And I don't think he should be silenced. However, I do pray that he is cautious and not to bring any more barriers in the relationship. That's all I'm going to say about it. That's what I think. Right, ladies? Let's see what anybody had in the comments here. Diva said, I have mixed views. Okay, I understand, Diva. Yes, and there's a lot of us, and it's okay to have that. It's okay to have that. Let's go on to this next story, you guys, real quick. I don't even think I'm gonna spend that much time on this one. Kim Zolciak and Croy. There's stories going around that allegedly Kim has filed for bankruptcy and the both of them have filed for divorce. Now, the reason why I have Bethany's picture up here with them is Bethany Frankel went on her Instagram and she went in on Kim and Croy regarding their finances and kind of saying that they are not good management of money and they need to just pay their bills and so forth and everything. I kind of thought I understand Bethany, what you're saying, but my goodness, don't you know that this situation could turn around and be on YouTube in just a matter of moments in someone's life? I'm gonna start with you, Robin. Hey, Diva, how you doing,
Hey,
girl?
hi, Deepa.
I'm gonna start with you, Robin. What's your thoughts on this story with Kim and Croy, and if you want to say anything about Bethany?
I'm gonna go with Bethany first. Bethany,
Yeah.
for real though. Here's the thing about Bethany, and now this is I no longer watch it, but in the beginning I did.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, Bethany definitely has a different perspective because she was the poor housewife. She was the servant to Jill and all these other people, and she had a great come up thanks to her exposure, and she had good product, her skinny girl products.
Mm-hmm.
I do have an issue, and I don't care. I didn't like these. I'm not a stand for anybody, but I do have a problem with Bethany trying to knock me off of my throne as the queen, the judgment queen. Her
Oh.
her rant was so over the top judgmental. It was unnecessary. It was therefore, but the grace of God go I, except for we know how she tells us she was raised. So she's going to keep every little penny. But I did have a lot of problems because I feel like Bethany doesn't have enough to do personally to the
Ooh.
point where she weighs in like Megyn Kelly on everything left, right, and center. Whatever happened with these two, Croy and Kim, was that it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's listen, when she got married, remember the vow she said for richer or richer?
Mm.
Richer or poor. She said for richer or richer. And so we have always known that's her Big Papa, that's her thing. I don't believe I don't think this guy has not played professional ball since what is it, 2015 or 16. He had a 1-year contract with the Buffalo Bills, as I can
Mm-hmm.
recall, and
Mm-hmm.
that's it. So it's not like they've been raking in money or anything. And then she was extremely financially irresponsible. And I think that her irresponsibility laid in the fact that she was always had a sugar daddy, or at least from the time that she was introduced to us. I feel for their children.
Yeah.
I the fact that he filed first and he wants full custody and he wants alimony, but she wants alimony too. They're a mess. I wish them well, but what they eat don't make me fat neither.
I love it. So Diva has joined us. Hey, Diva girl. Hey. So glad you're here. You, go ahead and chime in, girl. I saw your comment regarding Steve. If you want to back up to that, go ahead.
I'll back up really quickly. Can y'all hear me well? Because I'm on my bad computer.
Yes, we can hear you.
It's only bad if it don't work.
I'm on my bad computer. But listen, to back up to the whole Steve Harvey thing, I'll say this. I spoke to Jim Townsend.
Oh.
So he was going to do an interview with me. And so I spoke to him, like physically spoke to him. And then he backed out of the interview. And, listen, that happens all the time. Not mad at that, right?
No, inbox me, Diva. After
I
the
will.
show.
Okay, I will. So he backs out of the interview, but he texts me. And he texts me. And I promise you, this man told me he was convicted by God. Okay? This is not me making up words, his exact words. He was convicted by God. And he had forgave everybody, that even the people that testified against him, that he got that 27-year sentence. Okay, he forgave that person, and he said that person is now his brother, like in Christ. So he said he felt like a hypocrite, because if I could forgive the person who helped me get 27 years behind bars, how can I not forgive Marjorie and everybody else in this situation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the text was longer than that. I'm giving you the synopsis. Okay.
Wow.
So then I said to him, I said, listen, because Juice, I told you before, and we could talk later. I got this connection from you, and there's different reasons why, right? But either way, I said to him, listen, I'm not mad at you, because I do this thing because I love this thing.
Right.
But I'm never going to do it where the point where I'm going to sit there and tell somebody, no, do this interview. No, if that's what you felt, I'm going to roll with it. You understand what I'm saying? And I said to him, I said, I'm not mad at you. I totally understand it. He had said something about us now not getting to know each other. He wish he was going to be able to get to know me a little better. I said, listen, if what you saying in your word is true, that you was convicted by God, I told him straight up, I got to know the best part of you. You're a man of integrity.
Yes.
That's what I said to him. If you was telling me the truth about your being convicted, you understand what I'm trying to say? So I said all that to them. This man told me that he was stopping the publication of the book. This man told me that he was not going to do no more interviews because of this being convicted or the situation. You understand what I mean? And when I read it, I thought to myself, was he convicted or was he blocked by Stephen? Whatever, right? This is just my thoughts in my head. But like I said, a lot of people are wondering about that situation, because I said that he told me he was doing no more of this. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
He told me this himself. So when I found out he was still doing interviews, all I did was text him and I said, let me say this to you. I said, I see you still doing more interviews and I see you still pumping your book out. I said, the only thing I would have appreciated if you would have just told me the truth.
Right.
Or if you changed your mind and became unconvicted, did you just send me a text? Because now people can punk out when they do stuff in a way. You don't have to pick up the phone and call nobody, right? So all you had to do was text me and say, listen, Diva, I changed my mind. You coming to me is a gift to me. You're not obligated to do nothing with me.
Yeah.
But why would you tell me those stories? I'll put it like that way. And then if you change your mind, you don't at least circle back and say something different. I'm going to tell you, I'll tell you, sideline the name. There is a reality star that I interviewed. When I interviewed the person, something happened, right? Do you know the integrity of this person? They called me later and said, Diva, look, because I came on your channel and I said XYZ, I just want you to know XYZ. And I said, you know what? I respect you. Cool. We leaving it there. I don't need to do no exclusive and say, oh, I know this now. Nah.
Yeah.
You respect me enough. I'm going to respect you too. I'm good. And I told the person, you didn't even have to do this, but I love you even more. And
Yeah.
I said, we good. That's
I
it. And I
know.
left it like that.
I know.
So in terms of him in his story, listen, I go back and forth because we came into agreement with this too. To me, I don't care if your kid is 10, 12, 50, or 100. It's still your child. And
Right.
because him and Marjorie see your children, when you hurt the mother, you hurt the kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm of mixed views, like I said, because I get it. People always say, well, I have the right to tell my story. You do have a right to tell your story, but when your story includes me, you should leave me out of your story and tell your piece of the story, and that's your right. You see what I'm saying? Because
I
maybe I don't
absolutely see
want
what you're
that.
saying.
Right. Maybe I don't. Are you ready to tell your side? But I'm not ready to tell mine.
I get it. I get it. Listen, my mind is. We have to talk off camera. We have to talk
Yes.
off camera. We
Yes.
do. Naughty Love is here. We'll give her a moment to share as well. Naughty, how you doing, girl? I've got like about 10 stories I want to cover. I spent 30 minutes on Steve. So real quick, Naughty, what's your take on this?
Oh, I really don't have a take on it. Like,
Okay.
he's not really Steve Harvey's not really my favorite person, but
All right.
live your best life. But this one, I like Bethany. I
Uh-huh.
really do like because she direct. You never gonna have to wonder what is on her mind.
Yeah.
But a lot of what she said was right. Like Kim always tried to put on this facade, like she was so rich when it was other people funding her life. And I think this is just karma catching up to her for the way she treated Sweetie. Mm-hmm.
I think the reason why I had this on the panel, y'all know I'm all about like Royer says, love and light. My Royer. I'm always, and I think I get what Bethany was saying, but I think to go on a public platform and just bash because
Yeah, it was fine.
that part was like, okay, Bethany. And then I'm always about karma. I don't want karma to come back and take, the same stuff and give it to me. So Bethany could have said the same thing in a respectful way. She could have said, Kim, come on now, you've got to get your money management under control. Just, fix this thing. You still have an opportunity to fix it. You still have an opportunity to save your marriage. It's, let's get into some financial counseling, something. Bethany, you got financial people, something. I just am not about passion, that part. Mm-mm. Yeah.
Juice, that's Bethany. That's who Bethany is. She is just true to herself. She's direct. She's always been that way. I don't like the way she did it publicly. You know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe send her a text, but that's who she is. And I
Yeah.
expected nothing less of her. You got to meet people where they at. She's always been direct. And it's true. I'm tired of these housewives coming on, putting on this facade like they have so much money and so much riches thrown it in our face. And in all actuality, they in financial trouble, they in legal trouble.
Yeah.
Everything is a mess. Like I'm just
Nadia, I
tired of
think
the way.
your microphone is groggled. Are you guys hearing her groggled?
It's a little
A lot of
static or
static.
something.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
little sad. So while she gets some headphones, let's go over to this story.
Well, Juice, can I say something real quick about
Yes,
Bethany and
yes.
the thing is, I have trouble when you're in the same arena as somebody
Oh,
and you're plucking at them.
oh,
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so I lean to the left a little bit if it's a fellow YouTuber before I go blasting my mouth on YouTube. Like, there's certain situations, once it's big and huge, I may make my comment on it and move away from it. But you're a former housewife, and
mm-hmm.
all of
Mhm.
us are on there's a fine line between all your efforts shooting to the top and all of your efforts maybe falling to the bottom. It's a fine
Right.
line, right? So
Yeah,
Bethany was fortunate. She came up with Skinny Girl. She started out on a Real
right,
Housewives of New York, and Skinny Girl took off. Okay,
right.
God bless her.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how that thing goes, and you know how there are many housewives, probably more of them than less,
Yeah,
that put up this facade, right? Because we've seen a lot of them crash and burn. But I
yeah.
think now she wants to be like a shock jock. I forgot the male shock jock name. She does stuff like for him. She's
Mm,
always running her mouth. And you could be true to who you are, but you could be respectful and being true to who you are too.
that
So
part.
yeah, this thing was just to just blast off on Kim. And that's what it was really about. And it's like, pay your bills. Listen, we already know she don't pay her bills. The home was in foreclosure, this, that, the other, and so forth and so on. So
Yeah.
as a fellow housewife that has more of a connection than the average person does to Kim, your message could have came differently.
It
We
could
as
have.
YouTubers, we
Exactly.
don't have no connection to Kim. We can
Mm-mm.
only speak through our thing, right? But you have the resources, even if it was through Andy, if you really want to help her, to get to her personally versus that rant that you did. So you just want to
Yeah.
stay relevant. They said fame is the new attention whore, right?
It is.
Right.
Mhm.
I
It's the
think
new
I don't know
drug.
who said
It's a
that. It's the
drug.
new drug, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's all she's doing. She, even with all the money she has, she still wants her name to be relevant. And that to
Mm.
me is what that rant was about.
I believe so. Well,
And
listen.
Regina, you know what Diva just said that has a
Yeah.
lot of weight in my eyes is
Mm-hmm.
that there was no even concept of being sisterly or nurturing to your fellow Bravo celebrity.
Nope.
That Bethany was so harsh. It speaks to
Mm-hmm.
her own character, and again, because she made such a public proclamation that was so negative, really speaks to Bethany's own character,
Right.
in my opinion. But Diva's right.
Yes, I get that. I get that. Erin's loving the panel. Erin says she loves the panel. I
Wait,
love Erin.
wait, it's ladies afternoon or whatever.
I know, right? It's ladies' lunch.
Ladies.
I appreciate y'all ladies for being here. Let's continue with this story. JayZ and this young man named Ramir. Now, I don't know if I'm saying the name right, Satterwaith. He's 30 years old. He claims that he is the son of JayZ. Even so much so that this young man has gone to court to try and force JayZ to take a paternity test. Now, I brought this one on panel because I'm seeing this on both scopes. I want to start with you guys. Robin, tell me what's your thoughts on this story with JayZ and this young man who says he's not giving up. He's going to keep pushing until he wins this case to get JayZ to take a paternity test to prove that he's saying allegedly he is his real biological father. What's your thoughts on it, Robin?
Lord, my thoughts are Lord Jimmy Jesus. Let's start. Let's start with this. I do want more information, but as I understand from what I have read, at
Mm-hmm.
least 10 years ago, JayZ did submit to paternity testing. I don't know that it was particularly whether it was conclusive or not, but the results of that testing remain under seal. So that poses questions for me.
Mm-hmm.
The first things that I heard about this when this young man recently came out, he said he don't want nothing from JayZ except for an acknowledgement. But then something I read earlier this morning said, I just want him to accept me as his son and then maybe we can have a relationship.
Yeah.
I really just feel for him
Yeah.
because it's nothing. I can only imagine how tough it is
Right.
to not know the whole story of your birth, your heritage, your ancestors. I understand what it is to be alone with it. Your mama's dead, everybody else is going, and I feel for him. I think that JayZ is being ultra protective of himself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I haven't figured out. My bones haven't given me an answer if it's because he just wants to ignore it, if it's because there may be some truth and he's scared to find it out, or
Oh.
if he just doesn't want to submit to any additional testing, because if he does that, then we may need to bring Maury out of retirement and let every woman who he's ever been with who has a kid come out so we can say whether or not you are the father. And I think that that's
Oh.
part of it. But I do wish this young man some peace, some information and closure so that he can move on, because this has been going on for a substantial amount of time, and I worry that it is so all consuming of him, and I only believe that because
Yeah.
of the length of time and that now we're having so much information coming through the public.
Wow. Well, let's come down to Carrie and get her thoughts on this and see what your thoughts are. Carrie, what's your thoughts on this story with this young man, Ramir and JayZ?
This is a really sad situation,
Yeah.
and I do have some personal experience with something like this that
Hmm.
we could talk about on the back end.
Okay.
But it's my understanding, and of course, this is all alleged, that
Yes.
the young lady was underage when this happened.
Mhm.
So that's why that may be one of the reasons why he doesn't want to submit to the paternity test. But I mean, with as much money as JayZ has, I'm sure that he could do something that no one would ever find out about just to bring some type of satisfaction and closure to this situation.
Mm.
Because, money does talk. Um, that's not the proper way to do it. And I'm not giving anybody any ideas,
No.
but but as
I
much
get it.
money as he has, I mean, there are judges and there are, labs. I mean, all this stuff could be done under wraps and no one would ever find out about it. So I would just take care of it and be done with it. Me personally.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Pastor Lorenzo is in the chat and he says this: as a man, JayZ should take the test unless he has something to hide. I'm going to come on over to Diva and get your thoughts on JayZ and Ramir. What's your thoughts?
I'm with the pastor.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is that if this is not your child, why have this thing leaning on your back for over a decade? Just be done with it. Take the
That's right.
test.
That's right.
And if you're afraid of other people coming trying to do the same and wasting your time, put a stipulation in it that if this person is lying on you or whatever the case may be, because in these people world, 10, 20,000 is gonna hit them in the pockets hard. Do some monetary thing to say, you know what, I'm gonna take this blood test, but let the judge know, because I can't have everybody out there coming after me because I have money trying to say I'm their father and wasting my time. If I am not the father, they got to pay me $50,000 or something like that, because
Mm-hmm.
that may stop a person that is playing games from trying to come at you, so to speak.
Yeah.
So and I feel for this kid, because even children who are adopted, they long to just know who their biological parents are. Not every single one of them, but a lot of them do.
Yeah.
And so this young man, unfortunately, his mother passed away.
Oh.
And from what I read in the story was the mother was 16 when allegedly JayZ was 22.
Mm.
And the mother had a high school sweetheart. So when she got pregnant, I don't know the story of what the mother did or didn't say, but I know the boyfriend at the time was at the hospital and his name went on Ramirez's birth certificate.
Okay.
So I don't know if, and then at some point, the high school sweetheart did a DNA test. I don't know why and how that came about, and found out that Ramir wasn't his. And then perhaps that's when the mom came out and pretty much said the only other person it could be is JayZ. And
Mm.
so, the mom got sick, don't know what illness she had, but when she got sick and knew she was going to like be leaving this side of heaven, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
she spoke to his godmother and said, please take care of him. And the godmother, because you know the pain and you feel the pain of these children sometimes. The godmother vowed to kind of help him determine whether or not, JayZ is his father.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it that initially, he just kind of is like he's trying to maybe help give JayZ out. Like, I don't want your money. I just need to know, are you my dad? And this young man mentioned in what I read, he was like, and if it's God will, if you are my dad and you want to be a part of my life, then you make the decision at that point. Now, do we know if he's going to hold to that 100%? If he does find out that it is his dad, we'll never know until we
We
know.
don't know. We
But
won't know until we
right.
know.
The fact that JayZ is running and hiding, that doesn't sit well with me.
It doesn't sit well with a lot of people. Hey, Nita Green, thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Let me read your comment for you. She says, same as Bethany, if the potential son wanted to keep it quiet instead of taking it public, maybe the test cow have happened. I'm talking about that Bethany. Let's go over here to Naughty Love. Naughty, what's your thoughts on this, girlfriend?
My heart goes out to this young man because it must really be.
Your mic is still groggy for some reason. Can you hear her?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Is it clear?
That's better. Yes.
Okay. It
But
must be
you know,
these
I need
headphones.
to hear you, girl.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry about that. I had to switch devices, but
No
my
problem.
heart goes out to this young man. To not know who your biological father is and his one parent has passed on, it has to be a battle within himself. But I'm with Diva. Like, why not just take the test and get it over with? It didn't have to go this far. Why carry this burden for 10 years? And I believe he doesn't want his secrets, his skeletons to come out the closet. I mean, the woman was underage. He was older than her. You know, it has been allegations in the past on JayZ on him sleeping with younger women. But on the other side, I just never understood why Ramir would not do like an ancestry test the way the daughter did. Because she was able to do the ancestry test. Now JayZ has since, I believe, hushed her up. That's my opinion. And tucked her away and took care of her and just told her, look, no more. All right. We acknowledge it. I'll give you what you need, this and that. For the life of me, I just don't understand why Ramir won't just take those same steps she did.
That's a good question. Fifi says this in the comments. She says, just knowing maybe the closure that he seeks. And I get that, Fifi. I understand that as well. He might just, he's probably just like, I just want to know. And then what happens after that will be a whole nother topic. But I do pray that this young man gets what he needs. It makes my heart even sadder to find out that his mother passed away. But it also lets me know that's probably why he's pushing so hard for this. Because it may have more of an impact because his mother is no longer here. Now, JayZ, he's going to do what he wants to do or what he chooses to do, but I'm praying that the right thing comes. I'm praying that this young man, as people are saying in the comments, that this young man gets the answers that he's looking. And if it does turn out that JayZ is the father of this young man, I pray that a reconciliation can take place, something that these two young men, again, our Black men, can come together and not have that hatred part, that they can build something. I pray that if it is determined that this young man is his son, that it's not this animosity and it don't turn into a money thing, because it has a potential of going that route. And also on the flip side, if it turns out that this young man is not his son, I'm praying that this young man will be able to continue on with his life and create a full life of his own, possibly go out and have children of his own and stay in his children's life so that his children will not have to repeat the cycle of which he thinks he's going through right now. So I'm praying for all of them, including Beyonce, child. I'm praying for all of them.
Yeah, this has to be a lot for her to process, seriously. But this is just a case when the past catches up to you.
Yeah. Praying for them. All right. I brought these two stories up here. And talking about the JayZ story, this one on the top here, and these are on my community tab on my YouTube channel if you want to go and click and watch these videos. And I thought this was interesting to bring up as we talk about the JayZ, so I'm going to go through them real quick. The young man on the top, his name is Edward Bowdery. Edward Bowdery had to pay $30,000, over $30,000 in child support for a child that was not his. He fought to have this paternity test taken. When he finally got the paternity test, the judge was upset, allegedly, because the paternity test came back 0% that it was his child, 0%. And the judge was so upset because Edward fought this so hard that she made some conversations, we'll say. You have to watch the video to see that she was upset with him, basically kind of saying, well, you just now left this kid to be a bastard child, from what Edward Bowdery said. Now, I thought that was interesting that a judge would not want to find the biological father, but instead want to reprimand and belittle the gentleman that they wrongly stated was the father and took this man's money. Now, you may ask, can this gentleman get his money back? He cannot. The only way he can is when what they say there's a civil suit that he would have to do. But guess what, guys? He'd have to find the real biological father and sue the father, not sue the mother who made the allegations and received the funds. So is this a messed up injustice that we're dealing with?
Mhm.
Let's look at this bottom. Let's look at this bottom story, and then I'll take comments. The bottom picture here is a gentleman named D'Angelo Smith. D'Angelo Smith, and this is his beautiful wife next to him, received a letter in the mail stating paternity had proved you are the father of said child. Well, D'Angelo was surprised to find out how can he be a father of said child when he never took a DNA test. And how could he also be the father of a child of a woman he never met? Well, he had to go to court over this. And what happens is they found out that the young lady who accused him of being the father of her child just took a name, allegedly, that she found, ran with it to the courts, decided to make a filing, and hence he received a DNA letter at his home. They had to end up fighting that case. And this gentleman is saying, how could something like this happen? Even so much so that D'Angelo's Gardner employer received a letter requesting to garnish his wages for child support. Well, the case was actually taken care of. They got it taken care of. They show that he is not the father. He did not have to pay her. But what Mr. Smith said, which I thought was interesting, is this. We need to have better things in place so that this does not continue. This is not just an isolated story with these two gentlemen. Stuff like this is going on wild out here. I'm going to start up at the top with Nadi. What's your thoughts on stories like this now, Nadi?
I think women should like this should be prosecuted, Juice. Seriously, you playing with the system, and you're affecting people's lives. I mean, not only does like it causes embarrassment with your employer, like their license can get suspended, and let's not forget the marital issues that can arise out of someone just telling a lie like this. And I really think these women should be prosecuted, because that bottom story, they stated that the woman cannot be charged, nothing's going to happen to her for this. And I feel like the judge on the top story was trying to save face a little bit, because you know how prideful judges are. They don't want any ickiness on their courtroom name. But I feel like these women need to be held accountable. This is fraud.
Yeah, that's too much. That's too much. Robin, real quick, your thoughts on this till we go to our next story.
Nadia is 100% correct. I think that the next thing that needs to happen is there need to be penalties in place for women who falsely accuse men of paternity. When it is determined that that is not the truth, there should be some immediate reconciliation and bring these people back and make the men whole. It's horrible.
Yes, it is. It is. Carrie, your thoughts on these stories?
I agree with both women, but just a slightly different take. I think with the judge, I think what we have to realize is although judges shouldn't take into consideration their personal biases, sometimes it's hard for that to happen. They're supposed to be unbiased, but a lot of times these judges make these rulings based on how they personally feel. And that
Right.
seems like that was a clear case of how something that she felt very strongly about personally. It had nothing to do with what was right or wrong, in my
Mm,
opinion.
yeah,
Um, and
I
as far as
agree.
the
Mhm.
and as far as the second case is concerned, the system is set up exactly that way. The paternity test happens after you name the person. So you
Mm,
name the father first, and then the father has to then the paternity has to be proven or
mm.
disproven. That's how it's set up.
Yeah, because
So
the gentleman on the top said that
yeah,
he had to pay child support before the birth
right,
of the child.
right. So
Yeah.
you have to. So that's the way the system is set up.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, Diva, we coming down to you. What's your thoughts?
Woo, woo. Listen, this is as a female, and no judgment towards anybody, but a little bit of judgment. When you want to share your body with a whole bunch of people around the same time period, and then you wake up and you don't know, you wake up pregnant and you don't know who the father is, it's like, whoa. And
Yeah.
when you intentionally want to just select somebody on the ability that that person has the money to pay, shame on you, because you're damaging your child's life for a dollar.
Oh, for $1. Come on
For a
now.
dollar, you damaging your child's life. I feel in both cases, um, this the man on top, you know what? He's fortunate he found out sooner than later.
Yeah.
30K is 30K, but you know what? Thank God you found out. I think the hurtful part is, I wonder how old was the child once he did find out.
Well,
Was
he
he
said that he took the child, he was able to take the child to get his own paternity test, which came back that he was 0%. So he had some connection with the mother.
But
He
that's
was
what I'm
able to.
saying though. Like, how
Mhm.
old was this child? And I wonder if he was involved in this child's life. And I'm trying to go with that
Oh,
angle for the
yeah.
judge standpoint. Because if this child was already 10 or 11, thinking this man was his father the whole time, it makes the case even sadder. And forget about the money. And
Yeah.
if he was able to take the child, I mean, he could take a child at any age, but I just wonder what the age of the child was. Like, big time shame on that mother. The one below, you just randomly, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, you the daddy. I mean, who does
Yeah.
that? That is insane to me. And I do believe, like everybody on the panel said, you know what? Criminal charges need to be taken against these individuals,
Yeah.
because you can't just go around doing this to people, because it's the emotions that you're playing with too. You told me this was my child. I told my family. Like,
Mm,
but I'm paying for this child. They probably sending him gifts too. And now all of a sudden we gotta cut this child off. It's not right. It's not fair. It's not fair to
it's
the kid either. Guys, I love y'all. I was on break. I gotta go. I'll see you next
okay.
time.
Thank you
Thank
for
you so
being
much
here.
for having
Thank
me.
you so
Okay,
much.
bye.
Bye,
Thank you so
Diva.
much. Thank you,
Me
God.
too, Juice. I gotta go. I'm so sorry, but I enjoyed your panel. Thank you so
No
much, ladies, and
problem.
happy Friday.
Thank you, and happy Mother's Day to you. Thank you so
Happy
much.
Mother's Day to you all.
Thank you. So Pastor Lorenzo said this in the chat. He said, I had a judge tell me that she was having a personal issue. So she said she was showing me no mercy. Oh, wow, because she's having a personal issue. Oh my
I
goodness.
told you they do
That
that.
is a mess. Let's go on to this next story. I'm just going to do this real quick. Tamika Scott. Tamika Scott just did an interview on the Clay Kane show. And let me tell you, the reason why I'm having this on here, you guys know that I interviewed her father, Pastor Randolph Scott, and I'm rooting for these sisters to get back together. Well, the reason why I'm having this one on today's topic is Tamika Scott was asked while she did this interview about what she thought about her sister Tasha Scott's gospel album. And Tamika Scott had nothing but good things to say. She says, listen, I'm rooting for her. I'm praying it will work out. I think it's a great album. She says, my sister can sing her butt off. She did nothing but praise her sister. And I love that. Now I'm looking for and praying that Tasha Scott will hear this interview and that a reconciliation can take place, because it's been a lot. All right, Robin, what's your thoughts? Have you heard this interview, or what's your conversation you want to have with Tamika Scott, Tasha Scott?
I have not heard the interview.
Mm-hmm.
I wish for reconciliation with the
Yeah.
party.
Yeah.
I am dubious about the new wannabe queen of gospel. I just think that everything about this is sad.
It is.
I believe that how we were brought into this conflict was very much in the middle of stuff. I worry that Latasha is in a very precarious situation. She
Mm-hmm.
is, I think that she's a victim of some measure. I'm going to use the word
Mm-hmm.
of DV, but not in the sense that it is physical, but it's mental.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it came about because of her low self esteem. I do believe that she is beautiful and smart and talented, but she's the only one, and this crazy blah 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 husband of hers, who she believes to have enforced it outside of her family. Because what we learned from your interviews with Pastor Scott is
Mm-hmm.
that she was lifted up and giving her all the
Yes.
praise and support, but
Hmm.
it wasn't. It did not fit her personal narrative because I
Hmm.
think that she felt like it was something that the family had to do, and so
Hmm.
her validation came from the outside, which
Yeah.
was a major mistake. I hope that moving forward, that she can not just. I don't want her just to find peace.
Hmm.
The peace is the least of what I hope for her. I want her to have clarity. I want her to have discernment. And then after all that, peace.
I love it. Carrie, your thoughts on this? Have you been following this?
I after the show went off, I kind of stopped following it. It was really, really toxic.
It was.
Um, Not only were all just, oh my God, I don't even know what to say.
And
Um,
it's okay. It's okay. We can go to the next story.
yeah, it was just a mess. It was a mess. It really made all of them look better, and especially Escape. I
Yeah.
don't think anyone knew any of that was going on with them until that show came on, and it really shed them in a really negative light.
Yeah. We're,
Now it made SWV look like gold, but it made I'm serious,
it did.
but it made Escape. I mean, they look really, really bad because I couldn't believe, like, y'all been having the same argument for 30 years. This is crazy.
It's
Um,
crazy.
but not only is Natasha being used by her husband, but she's been manipulated by Mona Scott as well. And I will go on record
Mhm.
saying that, um,
Fine. You're fine. Hmm.
because
Allegedly. Hmm.
it is allegedly, because obviously those two groups were told something totally different.
Yeah.
Because Escape, let me say this: SWV said the same thing throughout the entire series. They never changed what they said.
Hmm.
They never deviated. So
Hmm.
obviously somebody was told something different. So
Hmm.
they were being used, and now we see what happened with this whole reality TV. And this is what you get.
That's
And
it.
it's sad. And that's all I have to say.
I love that. Thank you for that. And you know what? I think reconciliation is going to come, but both, where you're right, Holy Spirit, all parties have to see what their wrong in it is in order for there to be a real clear meeting at the table. Not just to say what other person's wrong is, but when you come to a table to clear stuff, you have to be able to look inward and see what yours is or hear and then make a move from there, but not do the blame game, because that just gets people further apart. But I'm praying for these sisters. I really want them to really come out on top, and I want them to be able to help young women to heal, with relationships with their mothers and their sisters and friends and so forth. I think there can be a big thing that could come out of this if these two sisters can come together and find reconciliation. They can heal a lot of people that are out here hurting right now, going through situations similar to what they're going through, and especially that family hurt part. All right, our next story is E. Jean Carroll. She has won, you guys. She has won, and I'm not going to be on this one long at all because it involves this guy. All right, so E. Jean Carroll has won her case against this Donald Trump and this situation that happened with him. The courts said that she's awarded $5 million. The reason why I'm having this on panel is because she fought, you guys, for years to clear her name. Now, will she ever see any of that $5 million? We don't know, because from what I'm hearing, Trump's attorney is saying they're going to appeal it. But for right now, she has won this case, and I'm really happy for her. In the sense of, I think it's something good for women to say, you don't have to take this type of mental abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse from anyone. You have a voice, use it. Robin, let's start with you. What's your thoughts on it?
My thought is that the most significant thing about this particular case, beyond the fact that I have always believed every allegation that Miss Carroll made against what's his name is excuse me, is the fact that when New York State had a revision and a provision of the law that allowed people to come forward with allegations and experiences of abuse in the past that had previously been not recognized because of statute of limitations. I
Yeah.
think that what is most significant is that it gave hope to people to both come to resolution about what happened to them,
Yeah.
even though, excuse me, with as many years that have passed, the
Mm-hmm.
fact that at the onset, even though she did not she did not go to the authorities, she had enough public outcries and enough corroboration with other people to let them know that this happened. And I
Mm-hmm.
think for me, that's among the most significant things about this. I don't expect that she's going to ever get a penny because Donald Trump is notorious for not paying. He has not paid workers. He hasn't paid many of his attorneys. And by the way, I think that he is rich poor in blathering, but definitely cash poor in dollars. And he never makes much sense.
Mm-hmm.
But the win for the general public is in knowing that you can bring forth your allegations, have
Mm-hmm.
them proven and substantiated, and that is the best satisfaction she's going to get. And as an aside, by the way, this is don't have nothing to do with this, but I didn't know until like a couple of weeks ago that she was married to John Johnson, who in New York City was a famous a WABC newscaster, black man.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yup.
I did not know.
That's a side gossip, but
I did not know. I love it. So
girl,
what Juanita Believe, hey Juanita Believe, thank you for being here. She says, and she's suing him again. Hello,
is that is
everyone.
that is that confirmed, Juanita? Because I know that that is
Mhm.
something that was presented as a possibility. Because with the CNN air quotes town hall where
Yeah.
he again defamed her, that was indeed laid out as
Okay.
a possibility for an additional action against him. I don't know
All
whether or
right.
not they will do that, but she definitely can do it, and she will get a basically likely win because she already got the conviction,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he repeated the same offense.
All right. Let's get over to Carrie real quick so I can go on to these next story. Carrie, did you want to chime in on Miss Carroll or Trump?
I can't remember. I know that I agree that she'll likely never get paid because it's kind of like she won but didn't, and I don't
Mhm.
know the quite the language for it. I'm gonna find it and DM you, Juice,
Okay.
for it, but you're right. She'll never get the money.
I don't think she will. I don't think she will.
Yeah.
Well, let's go. Let's go on. Goodbye, Trump. Let's go on to this story. Did you guys know that Sylvester Stallone has a new reality series coming out with his wife and
No,
his three daughters?
no.
Yes, it's coming on Paramount and it starts May 17th. All right. So I am so ready for this show, and I'm just going to do a little excerpt on it just real quick. And if you want to see the trailer of it, go to my YouTube community tab. YouTube community tab. The trailer is there. Sylvester Stallone has finally decided to do a reality TV show. Now, this is going to feature him and his beautiful wife and beautiful three daughters in their home life and just do the back behind the scenes conversation with Sylvester Stallone. Why am I excited about this? Because I have loved Sylvester Stallone for years, even through some of the things that he's done in his life, some of the allegations, a lot of stuff has happened with him. But I've always liked Sylvester Stallone. And I want to see him in this happy, kind of off camera, on camera type of thing. So I'm excited about this. So you guys go to Paramount. If you don't have it, Paramount Plus, check it out. You can Google it or you can go to my channel, my YouTube channel, the Juice Radio and Talk Show. Look at the trailer, check it out. And then we're going to have a conversation once it airs. And we're going to have conversations about this on our reality series that we do here on the channel Monday nights at 7:30 p.m. So I'm looking forward to that. And this has some other information that I pulled up about his marriage and so forth. The next story we're talking about is Nelly and Ashanti. Okay, you guys, have y'all been covering this one?
I love you.
What do y'all think about them getting back together? There's mixed thoughts about these two, but I'm happy for them.
I only heard that way back in the day. I never knew that they were like really, really together. I just thought it was a rumor when they did the song together. So, I mean, that yay for them, I guess. You know, I mean,
I know, Robin. What do you think about these two real quick before we go to this next story? I've got about 3 more stories.
Ditto.
What do you think about these two?
Ditto. Take it where you can find it. Ditto.
I know. Listen, when I first heard about this story, hey, Succeeding too, how you doing? Says just peeking in while working. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. Now, when I saw these two, my first question was, where's Miss Jackson? Where's Miss Jackson? When is he dating her? So, listen, a lot of people are saying, hey, Ashanti should not have gone back with him because of the way he did her in the past, so forth or whatever. They're saying, why did she forgive him? Listen, I am about love. And here's my take on this. And I had to write the notes. Even if something happened in their past and they did not stay together, but now their future has come full circle, there's been a lot of maturity, thank you, Holy Spirit, that has taken place during that time period, or we would hope so. And so for them to come back together, you know how people would say, you lost the one you really should have kept, the one that you should have stayed with. So maybe that time that they were apart, maybe is going to make this relationship work better, if in fact it is a true relationship. Because again, I haven't got the full facts. I went to his Instagram page. I didn't see no pictures of him booed up with her. All I saw was business. But if they are getting together or back together, I'm praying that they both would be able to make the relationship work, because I love love. And I would love for Nelly to come back on a show again, a reality show, because I really liked his reality show when he was out. But I'm rooting for these two. I'm with you, Robin. I am rooting for these two. All right, next story. Did y'all see Ginuwine fall? Did y'all see the Ginuwine fall at the concert?
He did not fall.
What happened?
He tore the floor. He hit the floor. He hit the floor. He did not fall.
at what concert?
Oh my God, it's all over social media.
I missed it.
Okay,
it was the Lovers and Friends tour, I believe it's what it's called. And by the way, I'm gonna say it right now.
Yes.
He hit the flow. He went through he made a hole. He tried to grab onto the sign language interpreter, but he kept on singing. I think he was singing to a track. I think he was lip syncing, but that's just me.
Okay, Carrie, if you have not seen this video, and the only reason why I can laugh is because he's okay. That's the only reason why I can laugh.
Okay,
And
I'm going to look at it as soon as we get off.
You gotta look at it, Carrie.
It's all
He tried to bring brother man, sign language man down with him, and he was like, nope, and he split his pants. I saw this on the Foxx. So he split his pants. They had somebody else's pants. They threw something around. Ginuwine, hilarious. But you know what? He's okay.
He is okay. But that fall was the funniest. Now, hey Nico, how you doing, girl? Thank you for being here. All right. So the gentleman that he's holding on to, I believe he was the one that may have been doing sign language, right?
Yes, that is him. Yes.
Okay. So Nelly, he kind of leaped off from the back. I mean, not Nelly, Ginuwine. He leaped off from the back. He kind of missed his stepping. He tried to grab Big Boy up here to hold on, but he couldn't get a grip.
Big Boy was not that pony.
Ride the pony. Robin, I can't with you. And he stumbled and he fell back. Now, cameraman right here on the left. Cameraman, I pictured, because he reached out like this and he was like, so, had his hand out. And I was like, what is he doing? Is he praying for him? What is he doing? But you have to see this video. And again, the reason why I had it on here, it was a funny moment for today. This is my funny moment for our trending news, trending topics. Ginuwine is okay, but that fall was so hilarious. And there is a meme of it, of another one, a guy, he's dressed up like Ginuwine and he's doing his parody. Thank you, Holy Spirit. He's doing his parody of it. And he falls in this, he has this mannequin that's down there. Oh my goodness. Carrie, you have to see it. It is hilarious. But Ginuwine is okay, you guys. He's still performing. He still looks very good. Ginuwine, be careful. You're probably going to be sore in the morning because, us of a certain age, those falls don't fall the same.
That's right.
But let me tell you this, Regina.
Yeah.
When you saw that Ginuwine tried to reach out to the sign language interpreter and the sign language interpreter kind of shimmied it off, did you not think when he yelled and said, "Save yourself"?
Because that's what the sign language, that's what the interpreter did. He was like,
Save yourself.
Ginuwine is okay. All right, let's have this other quick conversation here. This one, my co-host, one of my super co-hosts, Tyrone, T.D. McCullum, he sent this to me. And this story had been circulating back in December of 2022, and it's now recirculating again. There's a conversation out that people are saying that Ernie and Bert were a gay couple on Sesame Street. And they're having this conversation, and people are saying, yes, they're gay. Other people are saying, no, they're not gay. The reason why I'm having this on my trending news today is this. Does it really matter what these puppeteers people are saying they are? I never even saw Ernie and Bert as that. I saw them as best buddies. But people are getting into heated arguments over this now. Is it necessary? Carrie, I'll start with you and then go over to Robin. What's your thoughts? Have you heard about this one, Carrie?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't.
Carrie's like, what is going on?
No, I haven't. I don't know. I haven't.
Yeah, Google Ernie and Bert. Ernie and Bert, they're alleging that they're gay. And even if they were, and even if that's what they're saying, fine. But some of the people were saying, and I think Jenny Mai on The View was having a debate with the twin, Tia Tamara, I forget which one she is. And they were upset with each other over it, talking about their children viewing it. And I'll send you, Carrie, I'll inbox you the video that TD sent me. And I thought, is it really getting to this point where y'all going to lose friendships over cartoon characters or puppets, and what you thought it was, which I think is just crazy. Go ahead, Robin, share your thoughts on this real quick, and we'll go into the next one.
Really quickly, how many years was Sesame in effect and on our TVs before this whole matter of gender, about sexuality, relationships, kinships, when it came about? 50, that's the first thing. That's the very first thing. What we always saw. I'm sorry?
Because I'm 47, so it had to be 50, 60 years. 60, so more than 60 years.
So that's my point. And my point is a couple of things. The first of them is, I would like to just say my regular. What you eat don't make me fat. Right. Whether or not Bernie and Bert are in a same-sex relationship, what does that have to do with anybody outside of Bernie and the two of them, except if somebody else outside of the two of them wants to be, would have been with, or had an expectation of a relationship with Bert or Ernie. That's the first thing. The second thing is, are you ready for groundbreaking stuff? Yes. I have never said before ever out loud to anybody.
Oh, do tell.
For real, get your praying caps on, because I'm gonna need you to do this.
I'm going to.
My grandfather was gay.
Okay.
And my grandfather had a roommate.
Okay.
Named Steve. Mm-hmm. And in his house, in his apartment, they had 2 twin beds. And it was many years. I heard rumblings from one of my older cousins. But as it turns out, guess what?
What?
My grandfather was a gay man. He had a living partner for many years until he passed, who was really good to all of us, who was family to us. And guess what?
What?
It did not have a negative effect on me.
There you
go. It had a positive effect on them.
Oh.
What they ate did never make me fat.
There you go.
So you know what? People who weigh in on these kinds of things and issues are just doing it, in my opinion, because it gives them something to do. Because it does not impact them at all, directly or indirectly. So, in the words of my friend Francine, who I went to high school with, and I will adjust my language for your channel, and it goes, mother made them, and talking about the people outside having commentary, mother made you, mother loved you, mother blank you. That's it. Live and let live. Regina.
You know I love you, Robin. You know I love you, Robin. I love
you. And that's why I'm able to say the things I do when I come on your channel.
Right. That's right. Because listen.
I know how respectful and open and receptive you are to anything I say wherever I fall on the spectrum. So I appreciate that from you and from your channel members and subscribers.
I love it. Listen, and listen, I was still waiting to pray. I didn't know what we were praying for. You know, your grandfather was gay. That's okay, right?
And here's the thing. Let's go here. Since you're going
Okay.
to pray, my grandfather, by the way, was one of the better holy rollers. When
Okay.
I say he grew up next to the Presbyterian church, when I
Oh
say
my
that the
goodness.
church here in New York, the last one he was affiliated
Yes.
with, the first one
Yes.
was, some shenanigans. My
Yeah.
grandfather would play every role at that Presbyterian church, from being a choir member to being a deacon to being the clerk of session to
I
being
love
cook, everything. So you know
Come
what?
on now.
Je-
Hmm.
Jesus, God, and all of them know
Yes.
who, what, and where, why, and how. And I'm
I
good.
think I love it. I think that people have to understand sometimes we push the narrative too much on certain things and we're pulling away so much from our children's childhood. We try and put too much into it as adults. Let's let the kids, because I understand protecting now. Thank you, Holy Spirit, because there are some things that are manipulative and demonic forces that are trying to take over our kids in the form of childhood things. But, not all of that takes that place. But that's an even deeper subject that I'll have on one of my Thursday night church news segments,
Mhm.
where we can get real deep with that. But Ernie and Bert, I never saw them as anything other than friends, good buddies. And even if they were, gay in the time, I didn't know what it was when I was watching it. I was just enjoying them having a really good time. Bert was always serious, and Ernie was always just, having fun. So it is what it is. But I'm not going to lose a friendship. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I'm not going to lose a friendship over my commentary or agreement of a subject. I'm not going to do that. We could
Because
still be friends.
unless it impacts you directly, Juice,
Mm-hmm.
unless that has anything with your own personal relationship,
Mm-hmm.
it's what it is. Hey, Mama Juanita. But you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I know that you're going to give us a prayer. And if
Yeah.
I can just ask, and I don't often do this, I don't think I've ever done this publicly. I'm
Yeah.
hoping that the prayer that you will give us on for us includes not just something that is just about tolerance, it's
Right.
about whole acceptance of our whole beings, individuals, who we
Right.
are on this place and planet, what we have and are able and willing to offer to each and
Mm-hmm.
every one of our fellow mankind. And I put that in your hands if you don't mind. Thank you.
Yes, I will. I'll do that at the end, which we're almost there. I wanted to thank Erin for this story. She sent me this story, and this video is also on our community tab on our YouTube channel. She said, she sent me this. She said, we need a little love and happiness with all the stuff that's going on in the world, with all these topics of so much negativity. She sent me this beautiful story of this video where she says, there's a video that says, Halle Berry cries after Little Mermaid fan refuses to let her go. So Halle Berry was, I think she was at Disney World, and this little girl came up and she hugged her so much, and she did not want to let her go because Halle Berry, I believe, played the character of Little Mermaid. And so it's such a cute video. You have to go on my community tab and see it. And again, the reason why I want to have this on here is because we do need a little love and light. But also I want to say this part, because that Governor DeSantis in Florida is trying to shut Disney World down. And we need to get more active in having voices when politicians, people in leadership try to take too much control. And it's a lot that's going on. If you haven't heard the story about DeSantis and the fight that he's having with Disney World, you want to go ahead and Google. It is out there. He's literally trying to shut Disney World down. And Disney World is fighting back, but we've got to stop this. And I think one of my opinion or my thought of why DeSantis is really fighting so hard, and it could be alleged, I could be wrong. I believe why he's fighting so hard against Disney World is because Disney World supports the LGBTQIA plus community, and DeSantis is on a rampant to get rid of the LGBTQIA plus voice. And so we're going to pray that everything works out great. But thank you, Erin, for that beautiful video. I love it. I love it. And I want to see more happy stuff like that here on the channel. All right, you guys, we're at the end of our show for today, but I want to remind you, we have a love tour coming up. We are collaborating with Royer's World, and Diva, the Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva, have invited us to come and collab We're going to be all on the same panel Saturday, May 20th. Saturday, May 20th. We're going to all come 12 noon, share love. We're going to be discussing 9 types of love. We're going to tell y'all about the 9 types of love, what they mean, how they relate in your lives, how you should be having them so that people can understand one person love that you have for them may not be the same that you have for somebody else. So we're going to share that. And I really want to thank Diva for having such an open platform to share her platform with others. And she didn't have to do it, but she does it because she wants others to grow as well. And I love that. Royer, the same thing. Thank you so much to Royer. So y'all remember to click that subscribe button. The notification is already on my YouTube channel. All you have to do is click the subscribe button and click that notification bell. And we are going to be going live on May 20th. Okay. Also want to send up prayers. I see you in here, Juanita. I'm gonna get to you. I want to send up prayers to Jamie Foxx. You all please continue to pray for Jamie Foxx as he is still in the hospital. There is an article that is posted. I put that on my community tab as well, saying that he is doing a little better. He is still in the hospital. They have not disclosed what the illness is that took place. His daughter, I believe, mentioned that he is working with his tablet and trying to sync things and upload photos and so forth, like that. I got a feeling, and it may not be accurate, but I did get a sense that it sounds like he had a stroke. That's what my thought of it is. However, I can't confirm or deny that that's what it is. But whatever the case may be, you all, let's lift Jamie Foxx up in prayer. Also lift up his daughter and his family members, because this is a lot. This is a lot. Pray for his health. Pray for his mental health as well, and the family's health and mental health as well. This is a tweet that he put on a post that he put on his Instagram page. He said, "Appreciate all the love, feeling blessed." I'll go down real quick to Carrie. What's your thoughts? And this is our final story. What's your thoughts on this, Carrie? And then I'll go over to Robin, and then over to Juanita.
I was on YouTube today, and I was sending you this as well.
Mm-hmm.
There was a doctor that was giving somewhat of an update on something that they think that he may have, and how they think they may be able to help him.
Mm-hmm.
Because the doctors and his family, because they're being really vague about his diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll send it to you. It's kind of hard to explain.
Okay.
So I'll just send that to you.
I appreciate it.
It's 2 Black doctors, and it's about 30 minutes long.
Great. I appreciate it. Robin,
Okay.
1 minute. Tell us what your thoughts are on Jamie Foxx.
I just want us all just to be mindful that Jamie Foxx is an extremely private person.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a large part why we don't have details. The truth of the matter is, I don't believe that we need to know all the details. The fact that we know that he is infirmed and in hospital is enough, and that we are caring people, that the best and only thing that we can do at this moment is send positive vibes and pray for him, his healing to whatever degree it may be possible, and also for the strength and support of his family. Outside of that, my hope is that we just let him be and let what happens in their own space, place, and time.
Healing to him, we pray. I'm going to come over to you, Anita. Thank you for being on panel today. But before I do that, let's give a great big shout out and thank you to Fifi ASP for her contribution. Listen, thank you so much, Fifi. I love it, love it, love it. And you know what we do over here at the Juice Radio and Talk Show? We don't just receive without giving. So listen, I'm going to pray over your seed because I believe that the prayers of the righteous availeth much, and you should not be giving and people are not praying over your seed. That to me is thievery. Give back when somebody gives you something. So let's go ahead and pray, ladies, if you don't mind. I'm going to go ahead and pray over Fifi's seed right now. Dear Heavenly Father, I come to you in the name of your son, Jesus. Lord God, I thank you, Father God, for Fifi right now and her contribution that she made to this platform, Father God. I ask that you bless this seed, multiply it, Father God, and send it back to her, Father God, in a multiplied return. And I ask this in your son, Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you so much, Fifi.
Amen.
Thank
Amen.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Juanita, what would you like to add to this conversation? Amen.
Well, first of all, I was saying I'm enjoying your show, and
Thank you.
hello to Robin and all the panel and everyone. And as far as Jamie Foxx, what we can most offer is prayer.
Yeah.
Prayer for him, and prayer for his family, and prayer for the doctors and the nurses who are caring for him.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Well, ladies, we've come to the end of our show today. I want to thank you all for being here today, sharing this time with me. I didn't have to be over here alone. Y'all were here with me. I might do more of these. I might do more. I want to say happy Mother's Day to all of you. If you're a mother in the chat, if you're a mother on panel, happy Mother's Day. I also want to share this. If you are someone and your mother is no longer here on earth with you, know this: you still have an opportunity to share love with someone. There are a lot of young women out here and a lot of other individuals that are looking for love, and they need someone to come in their corner and have conversations with them to carry them through this Mother's Day. So you might be feeling like you're alone, but guess what? If you take the time to find someone else to share that time with, then you won't be alone, and you'll also be enriching and enlightening somebody else. So today, as we celebrate this weekend before Mother's Day, remember this: you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And I pray that you all have a great Mother's Day weekend. I'm going to go back to the panel and get their thoughts on Mother's Day real quick before we head out. Carrie, what's your thoughts on this Mother's Day weekend, and how are you going to do this weekend? How are you?
I just want to say happy Mother's Day to everyone. It's gonna be pretty low key for me.
Yeah.
I'll have my granddaughters this weekend, like I always do, and I'll
Oh,
probably spend it
grandbaby.
with my two of my three sons will be here. My youngest son is in North Carolina. I've already sent my mom her cash because that's what she loves. Oh.
I love that. I
She
love it.
already she already has her cash.
Oh,
Um,
wonderful.
and I'll call my one sister that has a daughter and a few of my aunts. And again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Thank you so much, Carrie. And thank you so much. And we're going to get together, Carrie. We're going to inbox each other because there's some conversations I'd like to have with you as well.
Will
Thank
do.
you. Robin, happy Mother's Day. What's going on, Robin? What you going to do this weekend?
Say happy Mother's Day to all the moms,
Yes.
people who are surrogate mothers.
Yes.
That's it.
I love it. Thank you so much, Robin. Thank you. Juanita, what's going to be your weekend like this weekend?
Well, my family and I, we're going to breakfast,
Hmm.
and then we're going to church afterwards.
Hmm.
And I like to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, all the aunts who serve as mothers,
That's right.
and all of the young ladies who are mothers and have just become mothers. Happy Mother's Day.
I love it. I love it. Thank y'all so much. And people in the chats are saying happy Mother's Day to everybody. Thank you so much. Aaron says happy Mother's Day. Succeeded to say it has to be a resolution. His mom probably tried to tell him, oh, she's talking to one of the people in the comments. Thank you, Succeeded to. Thank you. Justin Talks Film is here. Hey, Justin. He says, happy Mother's Day, all wonderful, all happy Mother's Day, all wonderful show. Thank you so much, Justin. I appreciate you. I got to get out there to Texas next year to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Aaron. Panel, thank y'all so very much. We're going to go ahead and get out of here for now. But remember, if you all have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, if you have not done that yet, you want to go ahead and do that, okay? Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of nice things coming up. The channel is the Juice Radio and Talk Show. You see that red mug and microphone on the screen. Go ahead and subscribe today. Click like and share, all right? Thank you, everybody, for being here. We're going to say goodbye for now and hit our exit intro, our exit. All right. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Carrie, for being here. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Juanita. Thank you, Naughty Love. Thank you, Diva. And thank you, everybody who's in the chats. We're going to be out of here for now. On the count of three, we're going to say goodbye. Y'all ready?
Yes.
One, two,
Two.
three.
Bye
Goodbye.
bye.
Do you enjoy smooth jazz saxophone? TD McCullum has 2 singles available with more to come. The first is an original song called Groove With Me, featuring the classic sounds of Washington, D.C. go-go and his smooth jazz saxophone. The second is called Drunk on Love, a smooth jazz saxophone cover of Rihanna's Drunk on Love from her 2011 Talk That Talk album. Both are available on all major streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube Music, and more. Add them to your favorite library and playlist today. And follow Tyrone on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Mr. TD McCullum for your music and bookings. JoJo Speaks is a YouTube channel that goes live every Thursday at 9:30 p.m. with hot topics and social commentary. Come join the Light of the Leo, Mr. TD McCullum, and our good friend Mike, Mr. Real 121, for fun and JoJo's unique spin on today's top stories. Go to YouTube, subscribe, like, share, and comment. If you are struggling to figure out who you are and where you're heading, but need a little light to bring you back on track, subscribe to the Light of the Leo for some healing and real conversation. Here is where you will find encouragement and the reminder that you are not alone. Continue your journey to freely be yourself at all times with the Light of the Leo. She goes live Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with her co-host, accountability partner, and little bro, JoJo Speaks. Join Faithful Warrior Ministries for our family and friends Saturday morning prayer. Every Saturday morning at 10-ish a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a great time catching up, sharing testimonies, and having transparent, real conversations about life. We encourage each other and show how we can fit God into each equation of our lives. Enjoy a devotional reading and family prayer. You have a prayer family with Faithful Warrior Ministries. Subscribe on YouTube at Faithful Warrior Ministries, and on Facebook, like us at Faithful Warrior Men. That's M-I-N as in Ministries. Join Pastor Lorenzo Evans and Living in Grace Ministries. The messages are not social media driven. They teach what's true and not what's popular. Living in Grace Ministries goes live every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube to Living in Grace Ministries and click on the notification bell. Pastor Lorenzo also has It Takes a Village podcast on the first and third Saturday of each month, pushing to bring back the village concept. We are more powerful when we are united. Together we stand, and division is not an option. A heartfelt thank you to all of our subscribers who joined us for this video. If you have not already subscribed, go to our YouTube channel, The Juice Radio and Talk Show. Subscribe and click on the notification bell to be alerted whenever we go live. Join our private Juice community. Go to www.thejuicecommunity.com and sign up for free. Follow us on our podcast channel, The Juice Radio and Talk Show Podcast, streaming on all podcast platforms. A great big thank you to our podcast production company, Noye Podcast Productions. They can help you create your own podcast also. Contact them today at houseofnoye.com. Thank you to our sponsor, Custom Apparel Shop. Have them complete your embroidery work and silk screening needs. Do you need a logo created for your fashion apparel or company? Contact Israel Mason today. That is 786-657-7501. Thank you to our main sponsor, Truth and Triumph Ministries. Truth and Triumph Ministries, a ministry that cares about telling people the truth so they can triumph in life. Thank you, Truth and Triumph Ministries, for all you do.